Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Greetings, wisdom keepers of the star nations of universal life. As the gateway to the 5-5 portal tomorrow opens and brings in the holy light of the great central sun and the fifth dimensional energetics of heaven on earth, we journey deeper into the stillness within our sacred heart centers. Our spirits are being lifted into the glorious light of our bright virtue. As being at one with Source, we realize our true nature of Buddha consciousness, to free ourselves and humanity from the reincarnation cycles and merge with the immortal, eternal life. Solaris continues to send us light codes through his solar flares and flashes of encoded light. With these pulsing frequencies, we had 2 spikes in the Schumann resonance at amplitudes of 17 Hz and 34 Hz. As keepers of the gnosis of the guardianship of the new Eden, we hold the vision for paradise on earth, and in our consistency and right action, the innocent shall inherit the earth. We are the guardians and protectors of Gaia and the divine feminine priestess of the new Lemuria. With our diamond minds of truth, we shine the light of the Holy Spirit through our sacred vessels to illuminate all that is hidden in the dark. In this revelation, all comes into the knowledge of the heart of humanity for the great awakening at hand. With the clarity of our pure awareness and the mirror of our minds, we reflect the truth perfectly for the whole world to see. With the eyes of our spirit fully open, we come to know all things. The halls of Amenti are open and the Akash is free to access for all consciousness to activate the gnosis within. Nothing left to do but shine, 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 and rise, rise, rise. May the 4th be with you. Aho! Welcome, beloved beings of light. I am Paul White Gold Eagle from PrimeDisclosure.com. We have many powerful transmissions again for you today from our sacred New Earth scribes, so be sure to stick around to the very end, and please do us a favor. Share this video with your teams and tribes all over this realm to get our messages, energy, and gnosis out to more of our team of the 144. Let us continue with the Sabian symbols. Right now, the moon is at 2 degrees, 29 minutes Cancer. The sun is at 14 degrees, 40 minutes Taurus. Code of the 144. The current Sabian symbol for 15 degrees Taurus. A man with rakish silk hat, muffled against the cold, braves a storm. And the current Sabian symbol for the moon at 3 degrees Cancer. An Arctic explorer leads a reindeer through icy canyons. From astrologyweekly.com. Now my sacred Condor pulls a card for you today from the Oracle deck, Sacred Rebels, from Alana Fairchild and Autumn Sky. And the card she pulled for you today, card 26, Relax, the hold of darkness, and be at cause. Dear Sacred Rebel, this moment in your life requires great courage. Fortunately, you possess that in bucket loads. You're being asked to allow yourself to be lifted out of one level of known reality and into the next level of higher voltage reality. Higher voltage reality requires a more absolute trust and a heart that is surrendered into the greater heart of the universe, so that life can happen to us, through us, and with us more quickly, more radically, more beautifully, and more boldly. You are now being invited into this new reality where things happen quickly and according to bold, loving optimism. This is a reality not only of potential, but of manifestation and the great, big, cosmic yes. To access this reality, you have to leap from known waters, and others may think you are crazy for doing this. You have to leave behind the dark, weighty grip of hesitation, procrastination, second-guessing, and the belief you have to do everything on your own. You may fear for your life. How will you be safe in this wild electrical pulse of so much aliveness? How will you function without the hazy, sleep-inducing paralysis of playing it safe? taking too long and placing lesser priorities above your sacred art of life. How will you hold yourself back if you don't hold on to fear? You do not need to worry about such things. Life is wild, but it is also wise. It is a force of startling raw awakening at times, but it is also the natural process of evolution where all things mature according to a seasonal cycle and right timing. You are a part of, not apart from, that process. The invitation to shift gears and jump on board the express train of life will feel exhilarating and perhaps also challenging. When you are in the hold of the darkness, you will feel pushed to turn away, to imagine it is all too much, and to create excuses about how your desires aren't grounded enough, that you are being too flighty or flaky, or that you are not living in the real world. That is fair talking, not truth. If the sacred rebel is not awakened, we will continue to live in a culture drenched in fear and distrust of nature. Those without awakened hearts don't yet understand what nature knows. She knows timing. She knows life and death. She knows the creative process. She just knows, and can be trusted to support us, her own creations, in becoming all that we can become. Does this mean that we can become passive and just flow along, like a limp leaf detached from the tree and blown about randomly by the breeze? No. Being free of the dark hold empowers us to take up our cause. This means being free to act and affirm the intuitive feelings we have by following up on them. This is painting like someone who has lost their mind, completely free and from the heart. It means writing even though you have no conscious idea of what you are writing, even as the words are streaming forth upon the page before your rather curious eyes. And it means speaking about your work, never hiding it away. Allow it to breathe the fresh air and be held in the gaze of another. Detach from the darkness that would say it is not enough or must be the best thing ever, whatever that means, in order to be worthy of a place in the world. Instead, just let it be what it is. It might fly, it might endure, and it might not. All of nature, including you and your passions and dreams, will be what is needed, when it is needed, and how it is needed, according to wisdom. We just have to trust in this, within ourselves and within nature herself through the flow of life, and participate. You are asked to go within and imagine diving deep off the edge of what you have known. There is so much more calling to you now. It's your time. Leap. Healing process. Say, I accept the offer of life so that I may truly live. Through unconditional love, I now invite and receive all assistance, intervention, protection, and inspiration so that I may leap into my next cycle of life, held in the loving grace of wisdom. So be it. You may now like to take an actual jump for joy to finish your healing process. And from Divine Brothra the Lydani Beaton, Ancient Wisdom Keepers. There are old ones who still communicate with stones, bones, skulls, feathers, plants, and know the songs to honor the natural world and spirits. Our ancestors worked with the spirits, water, fire, air, earth, the drum, prayers, and songs for harmony and fertility. They walk the earth in harmony and respect for the universe and creation, the great mystery. Our spiritual leaders have maintained our sacred ceremonies, giving great thanks and respect to the life-giving forces for thousands of years. We have always honored everything in the sky world that moved. Our old stories tell how we traveled from the sky world to find ourselves a place on Turtle Island. Even today, our sacred circles and councils are a way for us to heal and pass our culture on to our children and our children's children. Traditional elders teach us that the earth is our sacred mother, and that everything we need to survive is here for us, and that we must be thankful by our sacred ceremonies and protect what is here for the future generations to come. Elders can teach us how to heal with the spirit world and how to find protection, guidance, and wisdom from the eagle, bear, turtle, deer, wolf, and our ancestors. We can do sweat lodges and smudging for purification. We can call on to the spirit world for the healing of our minds, body, and spirit. Our elders have struggled to keep our traditional ways of life alive because they knew the power of the natural world and respect of the natural laws were for harmony and peace. Our women made our chiefs and chose them when they were young. Chiefs belonged to our nations, and they gave up their life for the benefit and protection of the people. Healing and solving problems was sometimes done by fasting, sweating, and listening to the old wisdom keepers. From culturalsurvival.org. And today from Divine Sister of the Light, Divine Feminine 7777. You know that the ascension process can be really tough. It's not easy to find joy when we are triggered or going through the dark night of the soul, or are experiencing a tower moment, or we are triggered. But here are some secrets to a happy life despite the ups and downs of ascension. Cherish the preciousness of life, everyone and everything around you. Cherish yourself. You are magical. You are the most important person in your life. Be grateful for everything you have, although your ego perceives it as negative. Everything is happening for a reason, and you will know what the reason is when you get out of the pit and clear what you came here to clear. Find joy every day. Do the things you love. Be thankful, grateful. No matter how comfortable or uncomfortable your life is, you are in charge, and you decide what you want or what you don't want anymore. Don't allow anyone to take your power away. Set boundaries. It is important for your well-being and happiness. Laugh more. Be like a child. Enjoy life and be playful. Start every day as a new day, without the burden from the past. And today from Divine Sister of the Light, Judith Kusel, 1144 coming in. I was told empathically this morning that we have been freed. This means we are not plugged into the 3D matrix anymore. It has disintegrated, and no matter how much some still try to hold it in place, they will not be able to do so any longer. Yet, and understand this, every soul has free will and choice. Some souls will allow themselves to be held back by family and friends, and allow themselves to be pulled back in. Some will be held prisoner by fear. Some will fear stepping into freedom, the unknown. Some are so used to being controlled and having others thinking for them that they will not be able to step out of it all, mainly because they always gave their freedom away. Yet so many have already freed themselves from the matrix, and thus are now transfiguring into the new Adam Kadmon body and new earth, and some are already there leading the way. When you claim your freedom and step into the fullness of the truth of who and what you are, you cannot be bound anymore. This reminds me of a most amazing conversation I had with the man who managed the restaurant at the Punta Maria rest camp called Ben. We had the most profound conversation as I shared that we had found the most ancient ruins. He confirmed this and said his tribal people never encroached there. It was sacred land and guarded by the ancestors of those who had gone before. He then shared his own tribal history and how 5 tribes came from the same Nguni bloodline, but then the fighting between 2 brothers and the divides which came. Then he said something I will never forget, that those filled with spirit, my people will not and cannot touch. God resides in them. How true! When the soul is at one with the divine and stands in its full soul power, nothing and no one can touch him or her. The tribal people always had the ability to intuitively read people. They read their soul and their intent. Ben himself was spirit-filled. It shone through him, the inner light. When we become illumined from within, claiming our divinity, we cannot fit into anyone's boxes nor matrices. We are free. From JudithKusel.com. And from Senses of the Soul. Get ready for more flares. A new and potentially very active sunspot group emerged. It announced itself with an X1 class solar flare, which caused a strong shortwave radio blackout over the Atlantic Ocean in Europe. More flares may be in the offing as this sunspot turns toward the Earth. More divine light codes are streaming in during the next round of solar flares. We are in a deep spiritual cleansing that has more clutter coming up to be released and healed from the mind and emotional body. As we go through this extensive upgrade to Sacred Union by mid-month, we are releasing any fear, doubt, parasitic attachments, and lower vibrations from our field. This will naturally release situations, people, or relationships that have been draining us and are not in alignment with the next stage of our life and purpose. We then naturally attract more joy, abundance, prosperity, and healthy relationships that support us as much as we support them. So keep your vibe high, put strong boundaries where needed, and stand in your power. Rest and drink lots of water, for you may still have lots of heat, congestion, digestive issues, heart pain, emotional lows, and fatigue, especially if you are empathic. And today from Divine Sister of the Light, Barbara Marciniak, cosmic rays are coming onto this planet so that a change is being broadcast and a reordering is taking place inside the body. The scattered data that holds the history and awareness of the Earth, the living library, is now lining up. The DNA is evolving, new helixes or strands are being formed as the light-encoded filaments are beginning to bundle themselves together. The scattered data is being pulled together in your body by electromagnetic energies from Prime Creator. We are here to watch this process in you, to assist you, and to evolve ourselves as well. As this rebuilding or reordering comes together, you will create a more evolved nervous system that will allow much more data to move itself into your consciousness. You will awaken many brain cells that have been lying dormant, and you will come into use of your full physical body rather than the small percentage that you have been functioning with. Every place on the planet is being affected by this change, this awareness. Those of you who are the guardians of light and who wish to completely change this present reality and bring different options in are anchoring the frequency. If it is not anchored and understood, it can create chaos. It will create chaos. This is why you must ground yourselves. Chaos brings about a state of reorganization when utilized properly. Time is collapsing, and the energy is becoming larger and larger. You have come here to use that energy first. You will make pathways of consciousness as you pull the energy into your body that will assist others so that they may not have to go through what you go through. Many people will suddenly begin to feel this energy without any preparation at all. The new pathways of consciousness create new realities, new options, and new ways of living and being. The Pleiadians, via Barbara Marciniak from Pleiadians.com. And from Divine Brothor of the Light, Michael Love, the Earth Alliance Special Space Weather Watch, a Pleiadian Light Forces space weather broadcast to the starseeds of Earth. Great one. The Sun has been reacting in a profound way to cosmic cycles that are currently taking place in Earth's solar system, and solar activity levels have been increasing. Another powerful X-class flare blasted off the Sun, and though it was partially obscured from Earth, a massive plasma wave is headed towards the planet now at over 1.9 million miles per hour. The Earth Alliance has issued a moderate space weather watch for Thursday and Friday of this week, and projects this strong wave of fast-moving, exotic particles will reach the eastern seaboard of America first on the earthly Thursday morning. KP levels are expected to reach strong to extreme levels, and strong geomagnetic storms will commence Thursday night and Friday. The Earth Alliance predicts more strong to severe flares in the next few days as an active region in the corona turns direct Earth-facing. Planetary ascension symptom reports are elevated this evening from the initial blast as the starseeds of Earth integrate this high vibrational light into their cells. To ease the effects of these exotic light particles, remember to eat light energy foods, drink lots of pure water. You have to slow down and just take it easy when the light comes in hard like this. Be in nature to ground, meditate an hour, and keep those crystals nearby to channel the energy through your body and into the earth. As this high vibrational light is integrated into your DNA 24 hours later, you will emerge as an entirely new creation and a literal brand new being where things are lighter, easier, and more wonderful. As more and more light comes into planet Earth, Humanity's evolution is moving ahead faster than ever. We say, let there be light. Let us know what Ascension symptoms you may be experiencing at this time. Godspeed, from 5DEarthProject.com. And from Crystalline Indigo Guide to the Galaxy. This is a message for many people who are going or are about to go through the biggest dark night of the soul without necessarily knowing what is happening or why this is happening to them. So you might feel great pressure and extreme polarities in thoughts and emotions. You might feel anger, fear, happiness, desperation, joy, guilt, peace, rage, sexual energy, indifference, no meaning, sense of vanity, power, weakness. You might experience body pains and symptoms of illness. You might have extreme nightmares or beautiful dreams. You might be pulled in other timelines and inner memories that do not make linear sense for your mind. You might believe that you are losing your mind and that no one can understand you. You might want to leave everyone, blame someone, or escape your life, your choices, and your creations. You might feel the need to grab onto someone or something for help. You might feel others do not care about you and that you are alone. You might experience a big loss or a life-changing event. You might even feel this is the end, that you are dying or that you want to die. All the above are natural phases of the inner awakening process and the true DNA being activated, which are taking place on Earth for everyone who is open to the true life and organic light. The best way to go is by accepting each phase without judgment or resistance and just breathe. Please know that many have gone through this process before you and made it, so you can do it also. You might even think that you can control the whole experience, avoid it, or decrease it. But please know that you will not be able to do such a thing, and if you attempt to do it, you will only create further suffering for you. There is no other way out of the dark night of the soul but surrendering to it, and follow each phase as it appears. Give your respect and attention to each energy that will be coming up while being present. This is your ego, false self dissolving, and your true self coming alive, back online. At last, remember to keep coming back to your neutral, inner observer, and in order to be feeling yourself, your body, and your feet and roots, please know that your higher self and your true spiritual family are supporting you and guiding you always. You will be able to feel or hear their guidance through your heart. Allow your eternal inner knowing and essence to emerge. Embody them. Breathing is the key. By the end of this process, you will be reborn, and you will have a wider, deeper, and true knowing, meaning, and sensation of yourself and your whole existence. This is totally worth it. Love to all. Remember that all is well. Irene E. And from Divine Sistar of the Light, Ramona Lapin. Another M-class solar flare. Can you feel that peace in heaven on earth is here now? Powerful plasma waves and galactivations continue to open and activate the third eye, crown, back of head, and high heart centers, unlocking interdimensional communications, merging and activating our crystal avatar self, lifting the last veil. Abundance release, the 144 are rising. We have had 2 more M-class solar flares over the past few hours, so that's 3 M-class and 1 X-class flare over the past 2 days, as well as several C-class flares. Schumann resonance spikes also continue to deliver many adjustments and corrections to the timelines, realities. The past few days we have released a lot of negative energies, entities, attachments, false programming, all and anything part of the false matrix overlays and hologram, dissolving and collapsing in on itself ever faster as everything accelerates and full disclosure is on. We had some more powerful activations flowing in for the 3rd of May that carried very strong 144 codings that are continuing to flow in. The 144,000 are now fully igniting, merging, and aligning. A big theme was and is the clearing of survival consciousness and the red wave spectrum, which is deeply connected to distorted polarity and victim-victimizer software programming as part of the diamond white flame ascension activations that we are anchoring on behalf of all willing hearts. We focused much on polarity integration through the healing of gender reversals, extreme polarity, and competition. There is a most beautiful balancing, integration, and merging happening between the polarities, unifying particle and antiparticle consciousness and bodies. I am perceiving this especially happening within my brain and right and left side of my body through a balancing between right and left hemispheres and much energy moving through it. Positive and negative cancel each other out in the neutral charge, which is the 0-point field that is what creates an open source energy supply. This is also connected to the corrections being made to our Merkaba, staff and rod, vertical and horizontal, axiotonal, alignments and spin rates and masculine and feminine energy balances. As we master the neutral observer state from the 0-point field, we also make free energy available again. We are the frequency holders of the new earth realities, blueprints, and templates. We hold them inside our DNA and blueprints, carrying important Edenic Paradisian codes, especially the twin flames, as this is where the polarity started, originate from, as the androgynous form was split in two. The message is that this is our big breakthrough and that our abundance can now be fully released from deep within. Watch this space. Expect mind-blowing miracles. Merging all of our bodies as one, the split in consciousness healed between physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual bodies, healing of the tribal shield in progress as the seals and black magic spells have been removed. 12 plus 1 equal 13 equal 4, cardinal directions reclaimed. 12, 13, sound pillars returned, and activating all 144 human harmonics of the 12, 13 tribes and our true tribal records and history of origin. 4, 12, 13 plus 24 pillars of light and sound are resurrected, 144. This also ties into the full reclamation and reactivation of our diamond, sun body, DNA, and plasma light bodies. I also keep feeling the most beautiful diamond rose heart grid connection between the participants, forming a most beautiful multidimensional grid around the earth and interdimensionally. This is truly the return of the rose and true grail lines, our true memories, and the true guardians of Nova Gaia, the change of the guard and the return of the Rishi, all of us reclaimed. You are the change of the guardians, further purification and opening of the stargate of our sacred crystal lotus heart. Most beautiful multicolored iridescent plasma infusions and waves re-encrypting and upgrading all matter with the now inflowing Ascension Earth 12 through 15D frequencies and pure source codes and consciousness returned. Our golden age has truly arrived. The music of the spheres. All activated as we fully align and merge with our crystal avatar, already ascended self in quantum no time, available now. Step upon your lotus throne. The Holy Trinity has truly returned. The heart holds the key to our ascension. Pure heart equals pure bloodlines and DNA. This is bliss, which is what unlocks paradise on earth through us now. No more looping traumatized monkey mind running the show, forgetting and no one able to fully heal themselves. We become extra conscious super empaths now. Trinity codes of diamond, platinum, golden, white plasma light going deep into the bone matrix, re-encryption of dense bone structure into crystalline. Deep sense of divine willpower restored. The stage is set for our final quantum expansion and leap into our true crystal avatar, ascended master, guardian self, and all new beginnings and worlds. I hope you can all feel the deeper sense of peace starting to descend upon all. Amazing work, everyone. True free will be reinstated through the true full disclosure of real truth. Only then can people make up their own mind. Remember, we are asked now to take full control, charge of the timelines, realities now. Be the change of the guard. Align your every word, thought, feeling, belief, and action with this higher cosmic consciousness and embodiment now available. Be your fully realized crystal avatar self now. Mantra: I am stronger than I realize and more powerful than I know. Now let's keep being the change and frequency of all new realities now. Eternal love and blessings, Ramona. And from Divine Brother of the Light, Pars Kute. There is a gathering momentum of brilliance building around our Earth right now. Earth is returning to the whole, to the sacred communion community which has always existed within our universe. The Stargate's vibrational light doorway has opened further to support these prophecies and is currently shedding its light across the planet by accelerating its transmission outwards. The Stargate frequencies are here to support the transmutation of our consciousness, to enable us to open within the vast makeup of love, which is essentially our true nature, to move us beyond the mundane illusion and allow love to flow freely within our lives. These higher vibrational flows within us are going to allow a natural forging with the galactic and universal community. There is a new formation opening through this transmission. It's called a constellation of divine light flooding across our planet. This constellation is interacting with the magnetic core of Earth, creating an acceleration of further unveiling of alternate reality states. The hand of the divine is leading the way. We stay focused on releasing all old energies that no longer serve us. We're being called to spend moments in stillness, to align within our hearts, and allow an alignment of transformation to be set in motion within our systems. Remember, this time is about us consciously choosing to change, letting go and moving within the new rhythm of these higher frequencies. For us, the focus must be on ourselves. We are our hearts. To begin to glimpse the vast arena of our power from within, to choose on behalf of ourselves. These changes that are operating within our heart cell structures are unfolding a platform to springboard our consciousness, to bring about a monumental change in the way that we can actively exist in the world and within the universe. The time is about us rebirthing us. We shift the perspective of our awareness of home from global to universal. Through our realignment to simple moments of beauty, a truth of new pathway of being can make itself known to us. At this juncture, be aware of the opportunities that are all around us by allowing moments of stillness in your day. This way we will be able to truly utilize all the gifts surrounding us. Within the stillness, open into a space of gratitude for the sacred divine time that is opening outwards. Like a petal of a flower opening to the sun, more is being revealed to us as we choose to open our awareness. Be like the flower, the petal receiving, taking into ourselves the day-to-day sacred moments that contain the light, like the rays of the sun. Within the simplicity of the moment, we reach with our awareness to be fed by the multidimensional light that has always existed, that still awaits us now. Each one of us are a unique collective part of the sacred consciousness pattern, which is opening between every heart. Our hearts have undergone a metamorphic process through the transmissions of light that have been coming from the magnetic core of our Earth. We are now holding a new electrical frequency within our heart cells, and the Stargate transmissions are continuing to reawaken a multidimensional light structure within us. These electrical shifts are designed to support us in the launching of ourselves during this recent transitional opening. A series of alternate reality spaces opening simultaneously to enable us to re-enter higher spaces of consciousness. During this reveal of the returning moments of our ego mind becomes disconnected, which allows us to open within an altered reality experience with no interference from the misperceptions of the ego mind. This process is naturally unfolding whether our ego mind is aware of this or not. There is a higher resonance opening through our heart structure, and this resonance is steadily mirroring these higher consciousness frequencies across the planet. Each conscious heart is forming natural realliances with the sacred sun. This is the perfect design to allow our ongoing transmutation and the Earth's continued expansion. Our hearts and the sacred sun are now interacting with the magnetic core of the Earth. Our hearts are a multidimensional tool, the doorway to our power. Our hearts are destined to play a significant role in the unfolding destiny of Earth. Every human heart holds a magnificent potential, a unique light, and our collective light patterns form a sacred synergy for the ultimate transformation of Earth's consciousness. This is the divine plan which is unfolding, with divine love of one pars kute, and from divine sistar of the light aurora ray. The process of ascension is currently underway. Dear ones, humanity is now experiencing the ascension process, the shift of humanity from being human beings to becoming transhuman beings. This is the human species becoming conscious beings. Ascension is the raising of personal vibration to a higher, more refined level so that we can reach closer proximity to the Creator Source. This is a time of great awakening when we realize that we are infinite spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. Ascension is the process of accelerating your energy upward toward the light. It is going beyond the mind and into the heart, where you will find your soul connection and spiritual guidance to lead you forward on your path. This is where you will find your purpose and see things from a higher perspective. It's about letting go of old ways of thinking and being, no longer fitting into the old paradigm of the 3D world in which we have lived for eons. The ascension process is a shift from the third dimension of intelligence or consciousness to the higher fifth dimension of consciousness. The two main stages are the shift into the fourth dimension, which is occurring now, is moving us beyond the mind and into pure awareness and feeling. The shift into the fifth dimension, which will occur shortly, will move us beyond physicality and into pure spirit and energy. 5D is where there is no judgment, no duality, no separation, just love for all of humanity and all life forms. There won't be any more control by those who have been in dominion for so long, as we are moving into unity consciousness and oneness with all beings. We are waking up from our slumber and realizing that we have been asleep. The ascension process means that humanity is moving beyond the mind and into awareness, feeling, spirit, and energy. We are becoming conscious beings. There is no doubt that the planet is going through a massive shift, and while it can be easy to get caught up in the drama, there are many of us who are consciously transcending the emotional roller coaster and choosing to go beyond what we have been programmed to experience. Those who are aware are becoming increasingly aware that our society was designed to keep us asleep and distracted from what is really going on. But even though this programming has affected many generations, it is only affecting a portion of us today. More and more people all over the world are waking up and choosing not to live their lives in fear anymore. The ascension process itself has been happening for quite some time now, but it seems as though things are accelerating faster than ever before. We are all being asked to stand up for our truth and remember who we really are, to become the consciousness that we have always been. Ascension requires you to transcend your mind's awareness and move into a space of awareness that is deeper than your thoughts. Ascension requires you to see past the lies and realize your true potential as an infinitely creative being. There is a huge difference between understanding and embodiment. Understanding does not give you the ability to embody it. All the understanding in the world is useless if you don't embody it. If you do not fully embody it, then you are still in the mind. You still have to go through your mind to get to what you understand intellectually. Many people intellectually understand that they are sources of energy, that they are part of God, that they are infinite beings of love and light. However, when something triggers them, which leads them into anger, hurt, frustration, or some other strong emotion, they forget who they really are, and they forget their connection with Source. They forget that they are an extension of God's energy because they are in mind instead of in their heart, being, and consciousness. The only way to be free from your mind is to start moving beyond it, to start connecting with your consciousness, to start living from there. You are not your mind. You are the watcher. You are what watches the mind and its thoughts, emotions, desires, hopes, and fears. The watcher is the root of your consciousness. It is pure awareness by which you become aware of whatever is going on in your mind, in your body, and all around you. Your consciousness is the medium through which you experience everything that goes on here in this world, including yourself. To be a witness simply means that you are not the mind. You are consciousness itself. The mind is there. It is a mechanism, an old ancient mechanism. When you become a witness, you look at the mind, thoughts come and go, but you don't get identified with those thoughts. This is the point where you have become aware of your own self. You start feeling the presence of your own soul. Your past is no longer a part of you, and your future is not yet here. There is only now, and the present is you. It has become your presence. We love you dearly. We are here with you. We are your family of light. Aho, Aurora Ray, Ambassador of the Galactic Federation, from thegalacticfederation.com. And from Divine Sistar of the Light, Carolyn, 144 God Code. Your set intentions and manifestations are coming to fruition. The feminine within is sitting on her throne and claiming her birthrights. Abundance, harvest, dharma, and creation are all yours. Release the ego thoughts that are trying to stop this and purify the inner masculine. Reveal the lies and gaslighting for what they are and override them. Karma has balanced, giving you a new start with new opportunities. What's been blocking you from fully loving yourself unconditionally is neutralizing from your life. You are safe to open your heart, be vulnerable, and love yourself. All the people and experiences that destroy this from the past have been dealt with. You are free, beloved. Be fearless and trust yourself and your ideas. Your creative concepts are unique and coming from a higher perspective. Soon they will be ready to share with the world. Humanity is stepping into deeper levels of oneness and will be able to receive your light as well. It's time to shine, beloved, and be seen. You can take action on execution as we get closer to the full moon. In the meantime, implement methods to stop battling against yourself. This may be through healing and replenishing your energy, to help in regaining your confidence. Take the self-care that is necessary to feel good and stable. Focus on aligning your masculine with your feminine so they can continue outputting your ideas together. Keep going. You've got this. In Jesus Christos' name, Amen. God bless you. Carolyn Kundalini Twin Flames. And from Divine Brother of the Light, Richard Rudd, Gene Keys, Unlocking the Higher Purpose Hidden in Your DNA. Gene Key 2, May 4th, 2022 through May 9th, 2022. Dislocation, orientation, unity. The second CD is the original nature of consciousness itself, and it manifests as a highly beautiful plan unfolding in time and space, swept along by the currents of evolution. All such mythic journeys echo the journey of the earth and of our universe, and as they all begin by leaving the warm comfort of the mother and the home, they must one day return again to the same embrace. This indeed is our final destiny as a species, to realize our state of oneness and unity with all that is. From the Gene Keys book, and from the Yi Ching, the classic book of change, Hexagram 2, the receptive, Bagua, pure yin, earth. This is 6 lines of yin in the hexagram. Receiving energy from all space. Unity unlocked, orienting within, dislocated in the void, always receiving. The magnetic means success through the docility of a mare. If the superior man takes the initiative, he goes astray, but if he follows, he finds his proper lord. Through a passively firm correctness, there will be good fortune. The gift of orientation is so profound that it creates a torus around us. That is what our trust does. We trust the suffering of another. We open our hearts to them without agenda, and they receive our trust at a cellular level. Richard Rudd, 64 Ways, from GeneKeys.com. And from Divine Sistar of the Light, Leah Whitehorse. Mars in Pisces, sextile Uranus in Taurus. A strong urge to assert independence may lead to a surprising course of action. Go with the flow. If you have been creatively tired or lacking enthusiasm, interest is stirred by the new and different. Take the alternative path to tease your senses and get your blood pumping. Watch for a spark of excitement that makes your heart beat a little faster. Say yes with a smile. Be spontaneous. Stimulate your mind by exploring the unknown, even if it feels a little scary. Sometimes we have to get out of our own way. Marvel at new technology. Experiment with ideas, scenarios, strategies. Consult friends to gain fresh perspectives. Take steps to upgrade your life if you need a change, and don't be afraid to strike out alone. Upgrade your goals to match the person you are now. Meet the future head-on by showing your courage. Dare to be original. Freedom takes bravery. From LeahWhitehorse.com. And from 13 Moon Peace Time. Thoughts live on frequencies, meaning that which thoughts come to you depends on the frequency you vibrate on. So when you get a low vibrational thought that you don't like, it's pointless to try and fix that thought with more thoughts, because they stay on that same frequency and actually feed into that low vibration. Albert Einstein said you cannot solve a problem from the same consciousness that created it. So rather find ways to raise your vibration, then you'll naturally get different thoughts from a higher frequency, higher consciousness. 5 minutes of high-frequency conscious thoughts is more valuable than hours of low-frequency unconscious thoughts. So you can overthink on a low frequency all day and you don't solve anything. Or you can meditate and focus on your breath for 15 minutes, and in the 5 minutes after that, you'd have more breakthroughs than you'd have by overthinking for 10 hours. And today from the Tzolk'in Times, Keen 246, White, Crystal, World Bridger. Crystal is the name for the number 12, and its keywords are dedication, universalize, and cooperation. The 12th day is all about getting together with others or working in a team. The focus on being unique and an individual is very much the modern way we live, but is it healthy? Our social skills seem to diminish with each generation, but essentially, we are social creatures. The 12th day is about finding your tribe and celebrating the things we have in common. Today is White World Bridger, which represents death, opportunity, and equality. White World Bridger days are good for building bridges. Where do you want to go? Do you want to be a better, happier person? What steps do you need to take to cross that bridge? Think of yourself as a traveler on a journey. Are you carrying too much baggage, and is it hindering your progress? Let go of anything that weighs you down. This death is the equalizing process. When you combine the meaning of the number and the day, the result is dedication to equality, or cooperation with death. To summarize, find your people, and together help one another progress to a higher level, cross the bridge to a new world that's waiting. And from Divine Sister of the Light, Christina Papagiorgio, White Crystal World Bridger, 12 Kimi, Keen 246, 4th of May 2022, Star Wars Day, may the Force be with you. Bridging New Worlds, Death of an Illusion. 4-5-2022 equal 456 equal 411 equal 42 equal 6. 4-5-6, forward momentum, liberation from earth to heaven. Day codes 4, form, structure, foundation, earth, angelic. 6, heaven, Christ, family, romance, fertility. Month year codes 5, freedom, liberation, change, transformation, movement. 6, 11, illumination, portal, gate, polarity. 2, twins, cooperation, partner, duality. 20, the awakening, clear vision. 22, architect of peace, master builder. Keen 246, more progression. 246 equal 12 equal 3, Holy Trinity, joy, creativity. Another humongously powerful day of divinely ordained endings, death of the old self, and making new connections as we ponder on the question, what is my legacy? Today we arrive at day 12 in our visionary journey through the Blue Eagle wave spell. Blue Eagle is beckoning us to fly high and focus on the big picture so that we can create it, envisioning the highest timeline for ourselves and our planet. As our visionary powers and third eye are awakened and activated, it is time for a mass awakening of humanity. Today's ego vision is multidimensional, creating portals and bridges throughout space-time, able to weave together the karmic threads of events throughout her story and beyond, in order to create a rainbow tapestry for our unified collective vision of our utopian future world. Tone of creation, crystal tone 12 in the mental realm, action universalize, power dedicate, essence cooperation. Today we have a universal connection of our collective minds. Day 12 of the Blue Eagle wave spell is about cooperation. The eagle combined with the crystal tone gives us Superman's power of planetary X-ray vision. He can scan planets, realms, and dimensions combined with Kimi to really fine-tune and unite mankind, broadcasting this picture throughout the holographic crystalline grid. Perhaps we'll hear some global news today, debunking the false matrix, which unites humanity on a universal scale. When we can see the big picture and let go of those trees that were blocking us and obstructing our vision, we bridge the spiritual and material worlds with our newfound clear vision. Through the space and freedom engendered by yesterday's spectral phase, new partnerships emerge, energy comes together, and crystal beings form. Stories must be shared for what great adventures we have had, planetary kin, and what grand stories they are. The crystal world bridger is a master storyteller. The diamond crystalline grid is activated, ready and open for operations. Telepathy rules the order of the day and becomes the new Wi-Fi. All new systems are now online after our eclipse reset, fully loaded onto the collective quantum mainframe and ready for the rollout. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Trust in the divine plan. Today's question is, how can I surrender to the death of the old world, seizing the opportunity to build the rainbow bridge to this brave new world with my planetary kin? May the force be with us all today, valiant rainbow warriors. A very exciting and powerful day for individual and collective transformation. Let's all unite in constructing the rainbow bridge together. Divine blessings for miraculous revelations and new rainbow adventures. In la ketch a la keen, Christina White Magnetic World Bridger, Keen 66. Keen 246, White Crystal World Bridger. The mantra, the code for today is, I dedicate in order to equalize, universalizing opportunity. I seal the store of death. With the crystal tone of cooperation, I am guided by the power of endlessness. And on this powerful day of activations, manifestations, and transformations, let us know, beloved beings of light, in the comments below what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, your dreams, your visions, and your synchronicities. And if you're new to our channel, please be sure to subscribe and click the subscribe button below and the little bell next to it to get notifications on future updates. And as always, we have a link in the description below to the transcriptions of today's transmissions. We archive these on our website, primedisclosure.com. Now I'd like to take the time to thank everyone supporting us in our work and mission. It's because of your monthly pledges and donations we're able to continue this work. So if you'd like to help support us and help us continue bringing these transmissions to the world daily, you can make a monthly pledge to our Patreon page at whitegoldeagle.com. I'd like to thank Divine Sister of the Light, Sally Benson, for another donation today. Thank you very much, Divine Sister, for your continued support. We appreciate you very much. If you'd like to support us with a one-time donation, you could do so to our PayPal link at egolovecondor.com. Now I'd like to also thank everyone supporting my Sacred Condor's artwork. You can purchase her beautiful handmade goddess totems, zodiac goddesses, healing jewelry, and other works of art at lunagoddessart.com. And she has a 25% sale off all her art until May 8th. That's this Sunday. So be sure to take advantage of that. And now we have a final message transmission from our beloved beings of light from the 17th dimension through the Pleiades star system. Pleiades 1 messages, May 4th, 2022. P1 calling Terrence for origins recognition. Attention for calls in PVSE-SDE. P1+++11. Divine priorities are established. Announcements in Zones 4D in progress. Liberation of imprisoned in 4D in progress. Strengthening of dynamic missionaries. Those who lie are detected. Special projector for emissions anchoring, 84% non-regressive. Special projector for emissions reverberation, 84% non-regressive. Ashtar, +++, Super 11, +++, active and physical, 1. Reverberation, 66% non-regressive. Lemurian, pearls and reconnection to bearers, support, 79% non-regressive. Lemurian pearls and reconnection to bearers, reverberation, 78% non-regressive. Shaman fauna powers and internal alignment, projectors aimed, P, support, 76% non-regressive, temporarily end of transmission. Pleiades 1, powering chamber, +++ from disclosurenews.it. Thank you for joining us today, beloved beings of light. Have a most beautiful, blessed, and powerful 5-5 portal tomorrow and a sacred Cinco de Mayo as Pachamama and all her children continue to get filled and flooded with the higher vibrational frequencies of the love of Creator, Source, the Great Spirit, the Great Mystery. Keep walking gently your sacred path with heart, with peace and love in every step, and keep shining your light brightly into the night. Be sure to make this day and every day the best day ever. The eagle and the condor love you all. Namaste.